Hey guys, this is AJYT Abbott, and today I'm here with Noah from TheEvansPlays.
What's up, guys? Playing some Minecraft at the same time.
And today I'm going to be counting down my top 5 Walking Dead Season 7 episodes. Now, before we get into this, I do have some honorable mentions. There's a couple episodes that I would have on the list, but I'm only doing a top 5, but they would definitely be on my top 10 if I did top 10. So we've got all sorts of episodes. We've got action-packed episodes. We have episodes where people die. We even have episodes with the epic Shiva in them. And let's get started with the honorable mentions. So, this episode, Season 7, Episode 9, Rockin' the Road. This episode, it would have made my top 10, only because, they had the Junkyard group. They introduced them at the end of it. You had the epic Rick Michonne, wire you had the epic Rick and Michonne double teaming a whole herd of zombies with just a wire and 2 cars.
Awesome.
It's epic. And also you just had the epicness. After the mid-season finale, I wasn't that hyped for The Walking Dead. I wasn't that hyped for The Walking Dead after the mid-season finale because the ratings were actually dropping from The Walking Dead, but this episode brought the ratings all the way back up. This episode was probably one of my favorite episodes of the second half. So the next episode I'm going to talk about, honorable mentions, is The Other Side. That's Season 6, Episode 14.
AJ,
yeah.
AJ, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be right back in a minute. I have to get some dinner real quick.
Alright. So this episode we had Sasha and Rosita going out to snipe Negan. They failed. Sasha took out a couple saviors, and of course we have the introduction to basically the new Dwight, the Resistance Dwight, the Dwight that is done with Negan's way. He doesn't agree with it at all, and I thought that was really good for this episode because the episode itself, by itself, without the Rosita and Sasha stuff and the Hilltop stuff, let's say it was all just, let's say it was all Rick's group, the whole episode. That would be pretty boring. But with Sasha and Rosita's story, Maggie and Daryl in the cellar with the Savior, man, that made the episode awesome. So the next honorable mention is going to be Season 7, Episode 10, New Best Friends. This episode, once again, we get to learn about the Junkyard group, which turned out to be a horrible idea. Really, they were horrible. And I hope a couple of them get killed by Negan next season. That'll be a good thing for Negan to do. Negan doesn't do good things often, He's done about a couple good things on the show. One of them is killing Spencer. We'll hear about that one later. Spencer is probably one of my least favorite characters in the whole show. I'm glad he's dead.
He's evil.
Yes, he is. But New Best Friends, as you can see from the picture here, I have Rosita punching one of the Junkyard people. I mean, Rosita is straight up savage, Season 7. She was a straight up savage. She did not care if she died. As long as she got Negan killed, then she didn't really care if she died or not. And I thought that was really good for her character this season, because Rosita in Season 5 and Season 6 and Season 4, she didn't get that much time. She got a couple episodes where, she had a couple lines. She had some important moments with Abraham and Eugene and all that. But Season 7, I thought it was her season. It was the season where, she really did get her own. She did get her own couple episodes. And she got some really epic moments out of them. So new best friends. Also, they had the epic spiked walker. The epic spike walker, which injured Rick's hand, but Rick, of course, Rick's not gonna die. Not at this point, at least. Like, at the end of the show, yeah, he's probably gonna die, um, but this episode proved that Rick and the group will do anything to get people on their side. Even if it means, getting their hand injured, getting pushed down in garbage, getting beat up, getting shot, anything. So I thought that was really good for the season. So the last honorable mention I have here is probably one of my favorite Negan episodes of the whole season, which is Sing Me a Song. Season 7, episode 7. So Sing Me a Song was actually a really fun episode. They explored a lot of stuff from like the comics. We got to see what Carl's eye looked like, which is, oh my god. Wow, it was absolutely crazy.
Awful.
And this really showed that showed how Negan runs his place. It shows how he orders people, and if you don't do what he says, he kills them.
Yeah, it shows what punishments he does, like the specific
Yeah, the
things,
iron. Yes, the iron was amazing. I really did like that scene. I loved how they handled that. Even this season, I got a little bit upset when they said that they were gonna tone down the violence, but they did not turn down the violence at all.
There's no way, like, they were lying.
I know, like Shiva. We'll get into this later, but Shiva biting a savior's face, man, that would never make it onto like a TV network that said, "Oh no violence." Like, where were they gonna go with that? Were they gonna make Walking Dead for kids? Were they gonna give them like squirt guns and stuff? I can imagine that, seriously. Like, I can imagine them with like squirt guns.
That would be retarded.
And instead of zombies, they have like, for that spiked zombie, they'd have like balloons instead of spikes.
Bruh.
Like, I'm serious. And for Negan, he would have let's see, what would he have wrapped around Lucille? He would have balloons.
No, he would have you know that glittery type string.
Oh yeah, that. The thing, actually no, you know what they showed? They actually did this once. They decorated it for Christmas. You know the stuff that you put on your Christmas tree?
Your tinsel.
Yeah, they put that all around a bat and gave it to the guy who plays Negan on this one talk show one day.
That's what I was trying to get to, tinsel.
Yeah. So Sing Me a Song, great episode, great Negan episode, great Carl episode too. We really got to see how Carl, he's grown up throughout the past 7 seasons. He has really grown up and matured, and he knows what he wants now. He wants Negan dead. So there's a couple other honorable mentions that I didn't add in. Episodes like, Go-Getters with Maggie, finally getting to catch up with her. Service, we get to catch up with the group. We get to have the epic zombie kills from Negan, like totally like ripping a lamppost or ripping a mailbox out of the ground and just smashing the zombie's head. I mean, that was really epic. And Rick got to hold Lucille for the whole episode, which made it even more tense. And then we have other episodes like Hostiles and Calamities with Eugene and the doctor getting thrown in the oven, or all of that. That was just insane.
That was violent.
And it was really a funny episode, Besides that, it was a fun episode, We got to see how Eugene holds up in the sanctuary and everything. It was really good. So, now we are going to get into my top 5. Alright, guys. So, number 5 on my list is going to be The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8, Heart Still Beating. The mid-season finale. Oh my goodness. The whole episode was amazing. We had the death of Spencer. We had Rosita, finally stepping up. and taking charge. We got to see her in the spotlight this episode. Also, we got to see Aaron get beat the crap out of, and we got Rick sort of, he steals the junkyard group supplies, which of course we don't know if it's the junkyard group yet. So that set that thing that set that all up. So that was really good, and I liked all these zombies that were in the water there. And I just thought that, Spencer's death, they did a really good job with that. Like, I'm not just saying they did the good job with that because Spencer died. Like, the comics, it looks like, literally, Noah, if you read the comics, like, they ripped that straight...
Yeah, I've seen the picture from the comic.
Yeah, they ripped that straight off of the page, like, seriously. Like, it was really well done. And the actor who plays Spencer, I don't have anything against him. I just don't like his character. He did fantastic. Being all like, I want you to kill Rick and everything. He did a really fantastic job. And that made the episode 1,000 times better. So, heart still beating. You will always have a really good scene and a couple good scenes in you that will remain in Walking Dead fans' minds for years. So, on to number 4. We have Season 7, Episode 15, What They Need. This episode, especially for me, was a really good episode because I'm a part of the Tara fan club on Instagram. I'm a part of all the fan clubs for Walking Dead, but the Tara one is something special. There's a lot of fans there, and people don't appreciate Tara that much. They're just like, look, it's Tara, cool. Everybody at the Tara fan page, we respect the actor, we love her character and everything. And Tara actually was really good this season. She was straight up savage too, just like Rosita. I feel like all the girls this season had like a ton of spotlights, like Rosita, Tara, Michonne, even Carol and Maggie, of course.
Sasha.
Yes, and Sasha too. Yes. We'll get into that later. Poor Sasha. Rest in peace. Yeah, so we had Michonne up in the sniper tower. She was really good. Michonne got good with the sniper rifle this season, which I loved because she's basically being Andrea from the comics. Andrea in the comics is with Rick, and she's a really good sniper. But just saying, guys, comic spoilers right here. So if you haven't read the couple of recent issues of the Walking Dead, click off the video and go read them online, like I do. So Andrea recently got bitten by a zombie. So I don't know. Could we see that happen to Michonne in the future? Like, I'm not saying next season. Heck no, we're not losing Michonne by a long shot. But maybe they could do it in like season 12. I don't know. Season 12 of The Walking Dead. My God, but they could do that. But this episode really showed off how much Oceanside, Oceanside is a really good camp, but they just don't want to help at all. Like, the only person who wants to help, there's like 3 people who said they wanted to fight, I saw, out of the whole group, which is really bad. Like, that's bad odds.
Including that, like, that 12-year-old that you...
Yes!
As age 8, but she was staying in there, she's like, I want to fight with you all. She was like, can I come with you?
I don't know. I mean, Tara's given her the middle finger for like 3 episodes. Like, she's given her the middle finger a lot. But also this episode, at the end of it, probably gave me the reason for this being on the list. So we finally got Dwight to be on our side. And he did his part in the finale. He blocked the road and made Negan and the Saviors late to Rick's place so they could prepare for the battle. So, yeah, good job, Dwight. You're not as bad as I thought you were this season. He redeemed himself, in my opinion. He really did. So yeah, season 6, episode 15, what they need is really, in a word, like just describing it with one word, is eventful. There's comic events, there's show events, there's even a tiny bit of video game stuff in there, because the Walking Dead Michonne video game has a little hints at Oceanside. So that's number 4. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna move. So, number 3 is gonna be season 7, episode 13, Bury Me Here. This episode was especially important to Morgan fans. That's right, I said Morgan fans. Now, Morgan, he's not a good person, you know? He's not cool. Like, in fact, I wanted to straight up punch him in the face last season when he said, all life is precious. Like, no, you have to kill. I straight up, I talked to my TV. I said, you have to kill people to survive.
Wait, he said life is precious?
Yeah, he said all life is precious. He says you don't have to kill people.
Well, you do if they try to kill you.
Yes, like if they're trying to kill you or they have better supplies, it's survival of the fittest. It's not survival of the who's gonna kill me. Alright. So yeah, this episode Morgan killed Richard, which I loved. I hated Richard because he almost got Carol killed, for one thing.
Plus, he doesn't look nice. He just always has that mean
He
face
looks like
on
the
him.
governor, sort of. Yeah, he looks like the governor. Like his facial structure and everything looks exactly like the governor. So maybe it was him who reincarnated the governor.
I don't think that's possible.
He reincarnated as Richard.
No, what if that's his cousin? What if that's the governor's cousin?
I don't know. Richard Blake. Let's see, Richard Blake. And he was Philip Blake. It sounds sort of like, yeah. It sounds reasonable, I guess. That they would be siblings. But yeah, Morgan killed Richard because Richard got Benjamin killed. So Richard had to die. He really did. He had to die.
He had to die.
So yeah, he needed to die. So I'm glad Morgan killed him. I mean, I'm not glad that anybody dies on the show except for Spencer and a couple other people. But Richard kind of did deserve it for almost getting Carol, probably one of the most beloved Walking Dead characters. Almost got her killed, you know. And I would do the same thing, Morgan. I don't blame him. But yeah, really good episode for Morgan fans. Bury Me Here is definitely an episode you all should check out on AMC. Now, number 2. This is about to get real right now. The season 7 finale, the first day of the rest of your life. My God, Sasha went beast mode this episode and almost killed Negan, bit this guy's eyeball out, and Shiva saved Rick and Carl. As you guys should go watch my review in the channel. You guys will know that this was probably my favorite finale of the whole series. It's much better than last season's because at least this time, Robert Kirkman, the creator of the show, if you're watching this, maybe this time we don't have to wait 7 months to figure out who died. Like, that was so stupid. We had to wait 7 months to figure out who died. And I knew it was Abraham. I didn't suspect Glenn. I knew it was Abraham because Abraham is really the only person who can take Lucille like a champ. Besides Daryl, and they're not going to kill Daryl. So...
No, I don't think they want to kill Daryl.
I mean, maybe they could kill him in the war.
Oh, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Like, he could die trying to save Maggie. That would be a good way for him to die. Like, saving Maggie. Because Negan knows that Maggie is alive now. And we need to fix that. Because if we don't, Negan is going to be very, very, very mad. And Negan, it's like the Hulk. You don't like Negan when he's angry.
When Negan's angry, he like goes straight forward. He doesn't care what happens to anyone.
I know. He's like the governor, sort of. Like, sort of.
No, he's even worse. He's even worse.
Yeah. At least the governor had some sort of remorse. Like he would do what he had to protect the people he liked. Negan just does whatever he pleases. He doesn't care if somebody dies, you know? The thing is with him is that, you know what I think? He doesn't really care who dies because he has a ton of saviors. Like, if his right-hand man died, he wouldn't care. He'd be like, okay, come on, Dwight, be my right-hand man. And then, you know, Dwight's going to turn on him. And then he'd just get another savior. He doesn't care who he loses. Like, you saw how the guy that he killed the other episode, he stuck that knife through his throat. That was one of his top saviors. He didn't care. He does not care at all, like, who he kills at all. But he was really mad when Sasha died, though. Like, didn't you when Sasha was on top of him, when he was on top of Negan, like he was really mad about that. But yeah, the season 7 finale proved to not only the audience but Rick that it doesn't matter if you're you're having the worst day of your life, like you're down on your knees crying and everything. It does not matter because there's always a way out. That was the message I got from that episode because Rick and Carl were in a very bad spot. Carl was getting ready to die, and then out of nowhere, Shiva just goes ham on some saviors. She has her dinner, basically.
She went. Oh wait, is it a he or she?
It's she.
Oh yeah, but she went absolutely insane.
The only thing that concerns me is that during the war, Shiva doesn't make it.
What?
Shiva doesn't make it out of the war in the comics.
Oh man.
Like, she dies protecting Ezekiel. Like, Ezekiel gets cornered by some zombies, and then Shiva dies protecting him.
Bro, but if that happens in the actual
But it would be a good way to kill her if they do kill her. You know, protecting Ezekiel.
Like her falling off a bridge and drowning. That would be the stupidest way to kill her off.
Exactly. Or no, you know what I think? I think she should like get on. I think she should get on Negan. Maybe not like bite Negan, like tear into his leather jacket, you know. Like, you know, at least do some. Like, I want her to do something to Negan before they kill her. Hopefully, they can keep her around.
Yeah, they need to keep her around.
But you never know, because you know that costs money, right? You know that costs money to animate and all that.
Are you kidding? And especially that scene where she jumps in, saves Rick and
yeah, me and you we watched that.
Yeah, we saw the behind the scenes in the school. It was that Shiva you saw
I know.
The guy killed it.
Cameron watched it too. He was just like, man, he said I fell on the floor laughing when I saw that little blue guy.
I know, that's hilarious.
They do a really good job with it though. So on to the my number one favorite episode of The Walking Dead, season 7. It is the season 7 premiere. The day will come when you won't be. You guys already know how I feel about this episode. Glenn and Abraham. Sadly, they don't make it out of the episode, guys. They don't make it. We lose Glenn brutally, and we lose Abraham brutally. They're brutally killed by Negan. And I know what you guys are probably thinking. They kill. I said, the people who are watching this video right now, you're probably wondering, why would you pick the episode where Glenn dies and Abraham dies? Two of my favorite characters died. But it's not about that. It's about the way they were killed. It was just such a good way for them to die, like go out. They went out, you know.
They were brave.
Yes, they were brave. I didn't care. I mean, sure, I do care that they're gone. I miss them. I wish they could still be alive. But it doesn't matter if they died. That's the case with all these episodes. It doesn't matter about who dies. It's about, like, how they die. Do they die with honor? Do they die with grace? Do they die heroically, bravely, or just flat out horrible? Like, people like Richard, you know, Spencer,
Or
the governor.
Noah was like, oh man, it's not what you
No,
would
I'm talking
expect.
about, you know, like Richard, Spencer, the governor. They were all wicked people, and they died in, like, you know, horrible fashion, you know. Like, they weren't good at all. Like, they deserved their deaths. Anybody on the show who didn't deserve a death dies with honor. Like, they die with bravery and courage. And that's why this episode was my favorite, because it really shows that, you know, Abraham survived 2 swings with Lucille. Glenn survived 3. Glenn got hit once in the head, again in the head, then with his eyeball popping out. He got hit again. Look, he got hit again in the face, and I watched it in slow motion. You can see when he falls down on the ground after the third hit. He's still alive. He's still moving, yet he's missing the eyeball. Like, the third hit, the eyeball gets knocked out. He's on the ground, but he's still alive. So Glenn died with bravery. Abraham didn't. He didn't do anything when he died, you know? He took it as, I'm going to die so these people can live. That's how Glenn died. He was just like, I'm going to die so Maggie can live and so my baby can live. And that's why the episode was my favorite, because Glenn and Abraham, 2 fantastic characters, went out in style. The way they were meant to die. And that's the same case with, like, Sasha, you know? She died with honor.
Yeah, and she, you know, for her, it was the same way. She was ready to die. Like, she wanted, like, she didn't want to suffocate in a
She wanted revenge, and she got it.
Yeah. Wait, did she expect for herself to become a zombie?
Yeah, because she took the pills. She knew that pills would kill her.
No, but how does she know she would specifically turn into a zombie? Like,
because if you get like, if your brain gets destroyed, like say somebody stabs you or say you're out exploring the zombie apocalypse. Somebody comes out, shoots you in the head. You're not going to be a zombie because the brain, the brain functions. It still functions
Yeah.
when you're a zombie, just barely. It just gives you that little bit of sense that you crave, like brains and stuff. So if that's destroyed, you don't be a zombie. If you don't get shot in the head or something, you turn into a zombie. It doesn't matter how you die. You still come back as a zombie, but you just have to destroy the brain. If you don't want to be a zombie. But Sasha, she wanted to be a zombie because she knew that she would attack Negan first since he would be the first person next to her. So yeah, guys, this was my top 5 favorite Walking Dead Season 7 episodes. Do you guys agree with my final episode? I know I'll probably get some comments on that saying, "What, are you insane? 2 characters died." And I know that, guys, but still, I gotta say, Glenn and Abraham, you guys were great. The actors were fantastic. I had a great 6 years with you, Glenn, and I had a great 3 years with you, Abraham. Goodbye, guys.
Oh wait, before you end this video, we're gonna give an honorable mention to Noah. All right.
Yes.
He his death wasn't like expected. It was just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could even see the personal um the way his face looked. It was, oh my gosh, what no.
And Noah, you can watch my top 20, or was it top 20? I think it was top 20 favorite episodes. And I think that episode is on there just because of how he died and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cuz I have an unboxing video. You should come. It's like the Geeksiders people. They at the end of every month, they take all of these like boxes that arrive at their door and they unbox them like it's like Star Wars boxes and Walking Dead boxes, Harry Potter. All right, so I want to thank you all for watching this video. Dang, it's dark in my room now. My mom shut the curtains, but
Wait, can I do this? I have a class. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give a big fat thumbs up for the video. Make sure to comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Some more ideas for The Walking Dead and stuff for AJYT Abbott. And as always, we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.